Hello and welcome. I'm Kate.
And I'm Emily, and this is Beyond the Neurotype,
A podcast that explores what it's like to be human affirming, regardless of labels, considerate of every person's individual needs, and allowing us to, ideally, understand what is behind every individual's actions, choices, and needs.
We do this with curiosity and love as we explore these individual and unique experiences that are rich with challenges, growth, and grace.
I'm Kate, a mental health social worker and synergetic play therapist. I'm the co-founder of the Village Therapy Hub. I'm a mum to 2 adolescents, and I love understanding and exploring what is happening beneath the surface for children and adults, and what behaviours are communicating to us. But let me keep it real. Much like yours, my life is a roller coaster. So I also understand the complexities of being a carer, the challenges of the day-to-day, and I won't pretend it's all enjoyable.
I'm Emily, a neurodivergent mum to a beautiful autistic girl and wife to a wonderful autistic man. I'm passionate about celebrating neurodiversity and creating a community where people are seen, held, and loved for who they truly are. It is my hope that as you listen to the stories of our beautiful guests, you feel inspired, validated, and supported in your journey.
This podcast is recorded on the land of the Dja Dja Wurrung people. We offer our heartfelt gratitude to the traditional custodians and elders, past, present, and emerging, for continued opportunities to learn, reflect, and grow. Hello and welcome. I'm delighted to introduce our guest today, Steph. Emily and I met Steph many years ago through the singing group MaCappella. And over many years, Steph has created a variety of ways to bring people together, to connect through pub singing groups, and even dance exercise. Today, we're going to explore how Steph creates and holds those spaces that allow people to show up, express their authenticity and individuality, while also feeling seen and connected and valuable. Steph, welcome.
Thank you. It's I feel pretty honoured to have been asked to come and chat to you too. So very excited to see where this goes today.
Oh, you were an easy ask. We love any excuse to chat and spend space with you, Steph. I was really unsure how to start this conversation because there's so many pieces, but I thought maybe we could start at the place where it began for the 3 of us, which was through the singing group MaCappella. And I was wondering if this was your first experience of a shared singing space or if that had begun earlier for you.
Yeah, sure. It wasn't my first experience of shared singing. I grew up in the Uniting Church. My dad was a minister, and I was always part of the church band, and then was part of sort of plays that the church would put on. So there was always group singing in that. There was always hymns. So in a church, you part of group singing all the time. And then I would go to these youth conventions that the Uniting Church put on each year with thousands of people and sing in this massive auditorium with thousands of other people my age, and it was so I've been
Wow.
I know what it's that it hits you right in the heart, and it really is something incredible to be part of. So I've certainly had experiences before, but certainly never leading. MaCappella was my first experience of actually leading a group in singing and being
Yeah.
at the helm.
Had you stayed connected with those opportunities from childhood to into adulthood, or was there a period where that lapsed?
I think it probably moved from group singing for church camps to group singing at festivals, music festivals,
Yeah.
where you just be singing with lots of, other
Yeah.
randoms in the crowd. But so I guess there was a bit of a break probably when I started having kids, and settling down a bit. There was a break in that I wasn't going to gigs, I wasn't going to festivals. So yeah, I reckon around that period there was a break, and that's when I sought out MaCappella. That's when I saw it advertised as a person with young kids myself, and was like, "Wow, what? This a singer? I've always wanted to be part of a choir." So I was really drawn to that and became a participant, which is what led to leading it too.
Mm. How long have you been leading for now?
I think it's nearly 7 years, I think, or 6
Yeah.
years, because Eloise was my youngest, was a tiny little bub in a
Yeah.
carrier. She was 1. I think she was 1. Yeah, when I started. So yeah, she's nearly 8. Yeah.
Mm,
And it's amazing, isn't it? Time just flies by.
nice.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
And I've got to say that as a participant of you leading a group, the thing that you do so beautifully is holding space for the individuals that show up with whatever they show up with. Because, like, yes, we've come to sing and we're there to learn songs and to be a part of this singing group, but we also show up with whatever's been going on in our day, in our week, in our lives. And it's hard not to have that be so visible when you're doing something as, well, exposing and vulnerable really as singing.
Mm. Yeah, I think, um, yeah, I mean, I use humor a lot, as you 2 know,
Yeah.
to break the tension and break the, I guess, the nervousness that particularly new people walking into the room, that
Mm.
can be really confronting for them. Um, and so I know I use that a lot. I also think growing up with the dad who was a minister who had connections with heaps of people, and my mum who always had to be, connecting with lots of different people in the church, I think I really learnt a lot about how to read people, how to, I don't know, I guess, interact in a way that's disarming. It's not confronting. It's sort of makes people feel relaxed. So I think, yeah, I sort of have learnt those skills along the way, but it's probably also just part of my personality. But I feel like I can tend to pick up on if people are feeling a bit wobbly, and then try to either just not look at them for the next 5 minutes, or go and help, that sort of thing where you sort of gauge how the body language and how people react, and then know whether you're helping by going over or helping by staying away, that sort of thing. So I get, yeah, it feels pretty natural to me to be able to do that and sort of tune in with people. Yeah.
And it's such an important part of it too. That's such a beautiful part of the singing group is actually not the singing, but the connection and the you can't hide when you're feeling vulnerable, or it's really hard to mask that because the singing kind of opens you up. And we've talked to Mim a few episodes ago about the time when she was grieving for her mum on her mum's anniversary, and just
Mm,
holding that space for her. And yeah, a lot of it seems to be the place where whatever's going on in your life, it kind of comes out there.
yeah.
Um, yes,
Singing is that, isn't it? It's a real vulnerability to sing. Um, and I think, yeah, artists talk about how it, cracks you open, and it sort of that connection that it gives, as well as just the physical nature of it. You're using parts of your body's vibrating, like it's doing all these things that just release other things, I think, and that's and I think for the group that we've all been part of, there was really great connection there and a lot of safety, which meant that, you could open up and you could feel how you feel publicly in front of these other people, which is pretty special.
And was it creating or being a part of MaCappella and I guess stepping into leadership with that, that then evolved you into some of the other singing stuff? Because you also now run a pub sing and run another supported singing group as well as a dance exercise group.
Yes, MaCappella definitely like opened up this musical journey for me, which I'm so thankful for. I would never have thought in my 20s, I would never have thought that at this age, this is what I would be doing for work. I've got a teaching degree. I'm a teacher, but then all these other things have happened. And I guess I'm teaching still.
Yeah, you are teaching.
Totally. It's just in a different in a different space. But yes, the all these things that I formed a band with other MaCappella people, which led to being in part of a play with some amazing actors. And MaCappella led to pub sing, which then also opened up the dance thing that I'm doing as well, the dance group, which is basically pub sing but with dance moves. And it's opened up this whole other world, and all my singing work, I feel like it's all been very driven by the universe, because it's all these jobs have come to me. Like, I've not really sought out any one of these jobs. It's just people have come and said, would you do this, would you do this, which is amazing. Like, how amazing to sit and let the universe just take you for a ride. It's great.
Actually really surprising to me that you don't have more of a professional music background, because I haven't actually, I knew you were a teacher, but I didn't realize that the band and all of that was such a new
Yeah. All really new. Never studied music. I had piano lessons, when I was growing up, and learnt how to play the drums sort of loosely. But never went on to study anything more with music. I sort of wish I had now, but that's okay. It's good to have a teaching degree under your belt.
Well, it's obviously been the piece that's then led, it's been the thread that then leads you to the other connections and pieces.
Mm.
And you play instruments too, don't you? Now.
No, not really. Loosely. No, not very well.
Well enough.
I can hold a beat on a drum kit.
That's
but no, I'm not very great with other instruments. I'm all by ear. I never really learnt how to read music properly. That's fine.
Which I think is amazing, because all the things that you put together and do, you do without knowing how to read music.
Yeah. It's all by ear, which is cool. It's
Oh.
I'm happy to work that way.
No, amazing.
For people that don't know, what is a pub sing?
So pub sing is an event where you will come to the pub, you'll buy a ticket on the door or online, you rock up to the pub, you some people have dinner beforehand, and you will be taught an arrangement of a song. So it might, what have we done? Beds Are Burning by Midnight Oil, and it'll be split into 3 parts. So you'll choose your part, you'll choose either high, middle or low, and then you'll move into that part and you'll be taught that part, and by the end of the night you're singing that part with the 2 other parts, and you perform the song together. And it's a real relaxed sort of no pressure zone where you just come and people can have a beer in their hand, which seems to help with the relaxed vibe. People seem to love it. It's good fun. I love it.
Yeah, I loved it the first time I went. From the first experience, I think we both remember that. came up to you at the end and said, "I'm never not going to come to one of these."
Never missing it ever again.
I have gone on to miss a few, but not because it's not awesome. I don't wish I was there every single time.
Yeah, that's
There's
right.
just something about the vulnerability in the room. Like at the beginning, everyone is so nervous. Like
Mm,
even people that have been before because we don't know the song. And
yep.
there's all this, what if I am hearing it wrong? What if I get my notes wrong? Like,
Mm,
there's a lot of questioning and self-doubt that creeps in
mm,
while you're learning.
mm,
And as the night progresses, this sense of who cares, like just let it go.
yep, yep.
And it's
I think
incredible.
when they hear that it sounds good, it's like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, I'm part of that. I'm doing that. Sounds
Yeah.
awesome." It's this real,
Yeah.
like, revelation of, I don't think I can sing, but look, I'm singing and it sounds good, and
Yeah.
it's
Uh, and
really cool to watch that in people.
we seem to lack a lot of that in our the way society is these days. I also had quite a religious upbringing, and so I grew up singing hymns. We didn't have bands or anything in my church, but yeah, it was very formal with hymns and
Mhm.
things like that. But I always loved that feeling that you get of everyone singing together or hearing. I used to love hearing like the men sing,
Mm,
and yeah, just the men's voices. And I, as of less and less churches become less and less over time, a thing that everyone does, and
mm.
that community singing, which is so prevalent in so many different cultures in different ways, is probably lost a little bit.
I agree, Em. It's in other cultures they sing all through their day. They sing all through all their rituals. They sing all through, it's in our culture, it's really missing, I think. And that was one of the reasons why Marion, who started Pub Sing, who approached me and approached some other people to run it, that was sort of the thing behind her wanting to do that, is because she found joy singing really joyful, and wanting more people to experience it, as well as getting men to come and sing, which is easier when it's in a pub, I think. And that was a real push at the start to promote it and get fellas singing, because they, even more than females, I think there's less opportunities for fellas to get in and experience that, the
Mm.
joyfulness. Mm,
And just like even the science behind, the vagus nerve stimulation and all of that, Kate will be able to talk a lot better about that than me. But yeah, just what it does for supporting your parasympathetic nervous system
mm,
and things like that. It's yeah, I know that singing something that I've always, has made me feel better and calmer and happier,
mm,
and
mm,
yeah, so having
definitely.
opportunities to do that again is really, yeah, it's actually really meaningful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It always feels good to be part of that as a leader. And you talk about the the physiological side of it. I get to see the face, the sort of like, oh, this, and then like this, just joyous, that just changes their body language, their everything just changes by the end of a session. And that happens in MaCappella, and that happens in the other choir that I run. It's yeah, there's a big I can see a change from start to finish of a session even. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is very cool.
And one of my favorite moments at MaCappella was actually Kate, and the song that when you come on board, and not long after you started, there was a song that Kate really connected to, and you kind of gently coaxed her out of her shell to take the lead and sing the lead part.
Yeah.
And she had to turn around and face the wall so she
Yep.
could sing that lead part. And it was this tiny little whisper of a voice, but it was
Mhm.
there, and she did it, and then she did it the second time, and it was that bit louder and stronger, and then the next time she didn't have to face the wall.
Yeah.
And that growth that comes with your confidence with being able to do that as well. So yeah, it's just what I think about that so often. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Absolutely. Got anything to say about that, Kate?
That was, yeah, a really pivotal moment for me, and the that really does emphasize the power of song. That I had come to MaCappella after a massive trauma in my life. And I actually came to MaCappella. I had moved to a new town and restarted my life. And I was sitting, one of my children had joined their primary school choir when we had moved here, which was really strange because we didn't sing as a family, and I don't actually know why. I don't actually know why he joined the
Just
choir.
your
He only
mate
did it
joined,
for
probably.
1 year, but this is kind of that universe leads us there thing that for
Mm,
whatever reason, he did that as part of his, connecting to a new school. And so they were performing in a choir event, a choir extravaganza. And so I went along and watched. And during that choir extravaganza, Macapella got up to sing, just this small group of women. And they all had, children, little children clinging to their legs and held to their chests in like baby holders. And so you got this sense of like these women are managing all of these things. And then while doing that, they are making this extraordinary sound. And it was just that everyone had their own part and it pulled together this incredible harmony. And I watched them and I watched the faces, and I can still remember distinct faces in that group. And I just went, I don't know what is happening to them, but I need that. Like, I need to feel that, whatever that is, however that happens. And at that time, there wasn't a group running locally that worked for me. So I just started badgering um, Tara,
badgering
the
Tara.
creator of MaCappella, and saying, I really need there to be an evening group.
I didn't
And
know that. That's
when are you
hilarious.
going to do it? And there was a daytime group running, but I'd just gone back to work. I'd taken 6 months off work and then discovered this and had gone back to work. So I was like, damn, working.
Mm, mm,
But I just knew I needed it. And I don't think would have ever really pushed for anything like that. Particularly back then, I was pretty good at just kind of stepping back and not stepping on anyone's toes.
yeah.
But I just knew I needed this thing to exist in my life, and there had to be a way for it to happen. And so after a bit of badgering for Tara, poor Tara, she finally agreed to do a come and try night. And Emily, you came to that first night, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we
Oh,
started on the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
And so
yeah.
then it happened from there.
Yep.
And so, and that first night, we sang a song that we sang Happy,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
yes.
it's not a favorite in the group.
Yep.
And I honestly believed I had no capacity to sing. I honestly turned up that first night thinking, I know I need to be here, but what the hell am I doing? Like, I can't hold a note. I don't know how to sing. But I just kept telling myself that I could make a sound, and that if I could just turn up and be given a part that included a sound, not a note, then I could probably give it a crack. And so it kind of fitted that first song, Happy, the part that I was in was really just a lot of sound.
Mm,
And
mm,
it wasn't like I needed to sing the song. I'm not sure I actually was capable of that at that point. So the fact that I could come and just feel like I was making a sound and give that sound a go was actually what got me to keep coming.
yeah,
And
cool.
then
Wow.
through that, my confidence grew. And yes, that particular song was about leaving troubles, leaving challenges behind, leaving trauma behind, and stepping into your own power. And I just felt so strongly at that point, and I'd probably been going, I'm not sure how long we'd been going before Steph came, a year or so?
Oh, uh, probably in the first year, I think it was that we were
Okay.
we were there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'd been going for a while, and I just knew I needed to have a go at this song, but I had okay, it's a lie if I say I've never sung in front of people before. I once, in primary school, I had been part of a choir, and I went to a Catholic school, and there was a church service that was gonna be on, and I don't remember what it was, but the choir leader, who just happened to be like my best friend's auntie,
Mm.
was desperate for someone to sing. And I always believed it was just out of pure desperation that she came to me and said, "Will you come and sing at this church?" Because I truly believed I had no capacity to sing. And I think she was just desperate. And so I got up to sing and I couldn't do it. I was so nervous, like my throat shut up and like I'm on the mic in this church service, like horrifying. The sound that came out of me, like awful. Oh, and honestly, it's probably not as bad as I remember,
Mm.
but my
Mm.
memory of it is that it's horrifying. So the idea of singing in front of people again, after I decided after that experience that I was never, ever going to put myself in that situation again, was
Yeah.
really empowering, really incredible to get
Really
to
cool.
just find a voice in there and do it in an environment that felt, yeah, so supportive.
Mm. Yeah, that's awesome. Putting you straight on a mic without any practice is pretty rough, I must say, for a primary school student. Anyone would be
Pretty.
terrified of what comes out because it's so different to what you're not used to hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember the circumstances. I don't.
No.
But it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
just horrifying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so for me it just started with, and what I loved about MaCappella was that it was just about making a sound.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
then I didn't feel like I needed to know anything about singing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And you don't. You can walk into MaCappella, not know a thing. Same with pub sing. You can walk into pub sing, not know a thing. That's
Yeah.
the beautiful thing about it.
Mm.
Um, and the other choir that I run with Brioni, um, is at the Centre for Nonviolence, and it's even more profound that these women walk in like having been through some crap
Mm.
and walk in feeling really vulnerable and um, walk out with connection and with more confidence and with joy. And that transition is just like that's what it's about. That's what life is about, I reckon, is making these differences for people and helping people in their journey, whatever it is. And the same goes for me. You guys have helped me in my journey through, connecting with you. Even though I'm leading it, I still have had beautiful moments which have helped me as well. Yeah, and I think that's another thing we lack in our society is connection sometimes. And that's what MaCappella was for me in Castlemaine as well. It was I found my people. I was like, oh, here they are. This is them. And like since then had mates, really great mates, as I've seen happen in every other session that I lead. And I watch it now when new people come and they're like, oh wow. There's all a group of awesome women that I never knew existed.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I've really found that the value in the connections
Mm.
is, yeah, has been the surprising part. And I didn't realize until I had to step away for 6 months, had a lot on my plate, and I came back and just popped in for one session, and um, it was the first time in years that I actually felt connected to where I lived, and that people actually had missed me and did care. Like, I always had it in the back of my mind that I just kind of existed and that people kind of were friendly and liked me on the surface or whatever, but didn't really care. And yeah, it was the first time when I went away and came back and could feel that genuine, um, yeah, happiness to see me. And I
Mm.
was like, oh no, hang on, I do actually belong somewhere.
Ah,
And yeah, it was the first time since I had moved here and that was probably at that point about 8 years that I'd actually felt that genuine belonging to somewhere. Um, yeah, which that was just actually so powerful for me to have felt like I felt like I didn't belong for such a long time here.
yeah, that's
Mm,
amazing, isn't it?
mm,
For a group of women you see once a week, you know?
yeah.
And we really like, we don't, yes, we share little bits of our lives, but we really just sing.
Mm.
And so that connection actually like, nervous systems are such incredible things, aren't they? Like, the way they weave their web across from nervous system to nervous system, because when we're in the room doing that and sharing, singing together, our nervous systems are all singing to each other and actually creating threads of connection
Mm,
between each of us. And so it's a powerful, like, physiological experience of connection. It's not one that's being brought about by the words we've said or the things we've done for each other or,
mm,
having anything in common even.
mm.
It's purely grown from a physiological place.
Yeah, that's what I find too. It's can be such a random bunch of women who come along to MaCappella from all these different backgrounds, and it's yeah, it absolutely is the singing element that breaks down
Mm,
all the barriers, isn't it? And that connects you. And I've got a theory, and I have talked to others about this before, that one day when science gets there, we might be able to actually see those connections, see that actually happening when you sing, see these strands like mingling. Oh, blows my mind, because I feel that too. There's stuff happens when you do that together, when you sing together. It's, yeah, something's happening that we can't see.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really incredible. And I can imagine, like, just referring back to your Centre for Nonviolence choir. I was engaged with that service for a while, but they didn't have a singing group then, and I can only imagine. I tried other groups that they ran, and it, it's a very different experience because it required you to connect in a way that was much more cognitive, much more around
Mm,
language and about what you were saying or sharing or whatever. And that's really, really tricky when you've had a significantly traumatic experience to be able to actually put words to that.
mm,
And so being able to instead share the felt sense of it and share the physical and physiological connections, that's so healing.
mm. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely,
And
absolutely agree.
wouldn't it be incredible if we could bring that into other spaces of people that are
Yep.
living that?
I would like to. Brioni and I would like to. We're yeah, I'm trying to make the universe do it for me. I might actually have to do a bit of work and make it happen myself, but we'd love to take this model and take it to other vulnerable spaces and
Mm.
share it, because it's been so powerful. The testimonials that come back from that choir are incredible, and just the confidence building and the helping on the journey, and yeah, all those
Yeah.
things. Finding their voice, that's a massive one we hear all the time. I found my voice. I feel stronger, all
Yeah.
that stuff. And the songs we choose are really thought about and chosen because of the lyrics and the meaning, and that's really powerful too, because when you actually sing in a choir, I think particularly this choir, because we have the words up on the screen, so you're um, sharing them together, I guess, that you actually think about what they're saying. You look at them and you actually digest what the song is about. You've sung it before to the radio, but never thought about the meaning. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I'd like it to go to more places where it can do good things.
Mm.
And I suppose you think, there's art therapy, there's kind of play therapy, as you know, Kate, and but music therapy is maybe not something that even animal assisted therapy is kind of, a lot more commonplace, but music seems to almost be in a place where it's a lot more spiritual and less like accepted, maybe Western therapy. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, the power of it to heal is amazing.
mm. When I was teaching at a specialist school in Melbourne, we had a music therapist. We had drama therapist, music therapist, art therapist working there. But it was always one-on-one sessions with these kids. And I mean, I never got to really sit in on those sessions because that's what it was. It was a safe space for that student. But I think you could certainly call the model of this choir that we run music therapy for sure, because yeah, that's exactly what it is. And there are therapists who they're the ones that actually approached me and asked if I would be up for running this kind of thing. And they're in the room and they are there to support. And if someone needs to step out for a minute, they go out with them. Like it's all, and that's such a beautiful thing to have that extra layer of support for people if they're feeling vulnerable. But as well, that's totally music therapy.
Yeah, it's that feeling after you've been in a session, isn't it? Like I'm feeling it now because we're talking about it and my body's just gone straight back to that memory of what that feels like. Like
Mhm.
the connection to self and the groundedness and just the flow that exists after getting to share space in a room with music.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah, such
yeah,
a
and it's
powerful tool.
it's the double thing of you're involved in it, you're making the noise, but you also get to listen
Mm.
while you're singing and hear that it sounds really beautiful. And it's that, that double thing. You're so in your body when you're singing because of everything that's going on. And then to hear it and go, wow, you know, it's that extra thing of getting to enjoy the beautiful harmonies, but you're part of it.
Mm,
Very cool.
mm. Yeah, and at times really confronting. And,
Mm.
I know because I work really hard at masking. So, I definitely for a long time in the singing group didn't want to show up with any kind of emotion. So, and what I've noticed and am noticing with great curiosity again recently is that what that does is turns me into like the smart ass student, which I've got to say, Steph, you handle really well, smart ass Kate.
You are naughty sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm realizing that it's a real it's a part of me that does that to stop the emotion,
Mm,
it's a part of me that's very protective, that if I'm
mm,
being a smart ass, if I'm, giving the teacher a hard time,
mm. Yeah,
then they're not gonna notice anything else about me, and
yeah.
perhaps I'll even create a bit of a, like, they'll see me as a bit annoying, and
They'll stay
I'll
away.
build
They'll
a bit
stay
of
away.
a wedge,
Yeah,
which yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. And I do on because some I don't know, it depends on the night, I think, for people too. Some people are ready to come and whatever happens, we'll just let it out. I find that hard too to let, and as you know, when I gave up your Thursday night session and told you, that was when it just went "Bah!" and all came out. But it's that I think in our society we don't give each other or ourselves space to cry and space to be emotional. And so for me, I know that if I start getting emotional and thinking about it, then I'm like, well, if I start crying, I don't know if I'm going to ever stop. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop and keep leading this session, or, so I know what you're talking about, Kate, but I think when you grow trust and when you, as a group, move into the space where you can feel that connection, then it feels safer. And people at their different moments have been able to be emotional and be okay and be hugged if they want to,
Yeah.
and then have a laugh and then, move on and keep singing, and it's
Mm.
okay. And I love that about MaCappella, that it's in all the groups. you know, there is that space, and it's okay. It's okay for people to be emotional. It's totally fine, and it's embraced. So I love that there's something like that out there for
Mm.
people. And I know there's other things too. You know, there's lots of sacred circles popping up for women, which is amazing. And I think that's that sort of space too. And there's dance and movement things that are all about, you know, that letting things go, letting go of things. So I think we're getting better, aren't we, as a society, on recognizing that it's so important.
The reminder that, you know, my smartassness is a good example of all behavior is communication, you know?
Oh, totally. Yeah,
You know, that is just the way I'm showing what I'm actually feeling, and I like to think of that as a good reminder for myself.
very true.
Mm.
I'll know that now, Kate. I think I already knew it.
Yeah, I
I just
think you
left you
did.
alone.
Yeah. Or used your humour to
Or
manage
use my
me
humor
through,
to manage
and
you.
at no point decided to label me as the naughty kid
No.
and, you know, stopped connecting with me, which, you know, there was every chance that as my singing teacher, as this teacher of, you know, the leader of that group, that I definitely didn't get along with a lot of my teachers at school for that exact reason.
Mm,
Clearly, there's a part of me that when I'm being taught something feels very exposed
mm,
and therefore needs to kind of try and keep the teacher at bay.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally understand that.
What's been your favourite part from your MaCappella time?
Um, I think the big group singing. So when we get all of MaCappella in one room, say, because we've done concerts with Mama Kin Spender, we had our own showcase where we all were practicing songs together. I think that's my favourite bit, and I think it's because as well I look around the room and I can see all of the crew who, you know, all of the women that I know really well who are in my crews, and I see the joy of hearing what it's like in a bigger group is incredible. That sound is really satisfying to me. I love that. But it's also, yeah, seeing how other people react and seeing the connection cross groups. It's really lovely with MaCappella because we have Kint and Castlemaine Bendigo. It's really cool seeing people connect from the different groups and go, oh, remember you from that gig that we did then or then, and you know, reconnecting and knowing that you're all part of this thing, this pretty awesome thing together. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like community exists just in your parts. Like you
Mm,
meet someone and,
Mm.
oh, you're the same part as me. Oh, cool. And then it's just like, oh
amazing.
yeah, we know each other. Like we know this thing. We've got this. Like, you know, it's so incredible that way that builds camaraderie.
Absolutely.
It's like
Yeah.
an immediate bonder. And
Yep.
then you've got something in common, and then everything else just comes from there.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I love that. Very
Yeah,
cool.
it's very cool.
What's been your favorite part, Em?
Um, I actually really don't like performing.
Yep.
So the performance is less so, but just the Thursday nights, actually, even sometimes when it's a smaller group,
Mm,
and just how powerful some of the songs are in a smaller group. Um, yeah, but just the connection and the
mm,
people and yeah.
mm.
Mm.
You, Kate?
Thanks, Steph. Thanks, Teach. Oh, look, I just love knowing that there's a moment in my week, every week, where no matter how I'm feeling, I can show up and share space and sing. And that being a reliable piece of my world has gotten me through so many things. Like,
Mm,
And there's entire periods of my life that I've done through MaCappella now, because I've been going for, 7 or 8 years or something,
Mm,
that have been really, really hard, and I've never ever spoken about it to the group. But I don't need to, because
mm,
the need gets met just by being there, and it's never about needing to say anything or, let anyone know anything. So
yeah.
it's just that, yeah, it's a guaranteed connector to self,
Mhm. Yeah,
and that's incredible.
that's cool.
It's like a commitment to myself, you get to
Mm,
commit to, I'm going to do this thing that's going to help me feel better, and I'm
yeah.
gonna do it regardless of how I feel about going. Because some weeks you're like, "Oh god, all right, yep, here I go. I'll get myself together and I'll get there." But you never leave regretting it.
No, you never do. That's absolutely right. Yeah, no one ever walks out of there feeling lower than when they came in.
Mm.
Never.
Yeah, and
Mm,
even if it's, there's definitely times I've left feeling sadder than or feeling more emotional than I
Mm,
did before I arrived, but it's
mm,
because that's been unlocked and there's been permission. There's many, many times I've driven home bawling my eyes out the entire way home, or have put one of the songs that we sang, that while we were doing it in the group, I couldn't let myself fall to the emotion I was feeling, but it was there. So I will put it on in the car and drive home and cry and sing out loud and, just
oh,
have the whole
cool.
mess up to myself in the car.
Yep.
And and so it does this thing where it shifts the pieces inside and allows you to actually feel the emotions instead of it kind of stops the block. It kind of, I
Mm,
can't, yeah, I
yep,
can't hide all the pieces.
yeah.
yep.
Absolutely. So many times where I've come in and been feeling really heavy and then left feeling really buoyed.
Mm,
Or, I do remember one particular time where I came in feeling really heavy and then left feeling, but sobbing, and I needed to let it out, and it
Yeah.
just, yeah, provided that peace. And I think having something that's scheduled, like, it's so I find it so hard in the busyness of working full time and family and all of that to actually schedule time for connection with friends. And so the
Mhm.
fact that, yeah, um, just having a place to go, a night and a time, and it's the same every week, and it's always there, and you can step back if you've got a bit going on and come back in, and that connection's always there and available at that day and time is, yeah, um, really important to have that, where it's not something on my to-do list to organize, it's just there.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's magical to have that, isn't it, in your life? And amazing that it's involves singing, like something that, people tend to enjoy. It's a joyful thing to do. Um, yeah, is really cool. And then you get all these other benefits from it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that the dynamic changes all the time. We have people come and go. Some people are there quite regularly, other people drop in and out when they can, and none of that matters. It's just about whoever can show up. Like, there's no pressure. You never feel like you're letting people down.
Yeah, that's right. And we've got the rule that if there's only 3 people there, we'll just go to the pub and have a drink. So
I didn't know
practical.
about this rule.
The rule is was made up by Kez because she's terrified to sing in a tiny group. So
Ah,
it
fair.
was if there's only 3, we'll just go to the pub. It's all good. Pressure's off.
And it's very valid. Like, I remember the first time I realized that I was the only soprano there, and it was in the first term. And I came to singing after I've always loved singing, but I had a lot of pressure on me to sing as a younger person.
Mhm.
And I suffered really badly from stage fright. And so what would come out would be this little squeak. And so, yeah, I just wanted to find kind of the joy in singing and singing with a group and enjoy it without the pressure of performing. And yeah, just remember the fear of looking around the room thinking, oh, this person's obviously not here. This one's not here. Where's my other soprano? and knowing that I've got to sing this part on my own, even, you know, amongst a group of all these other women, but I was the only one singing that part, and the terror of that. So, but yeah, the confidence that it does, you know, you're always there to help me out, and if you can see that someone's on their own and like deer in headlights, then you'll jump in and or someone might jump groups and just come over and help you out for that session. And and it's helped rebuild my confidence, so now it's kind of no sweat if I'm the only one there. It doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
I do like this pub rule though. That's pretty
Takes the pressure off.
yeah.
Look, people often say that to me, that sometimes they've been in that situation where they've been the only person, or they've been the only one in their part, and then someone new has been there, and it's been, I know, Kate, this has happened to you quite a few times, that it's sort of terrifying, but also like total confidence builder as well, being that person that has to sort of help the newbie or just hold your own is a real another bit of growth as an individual, isn't it? Just that next step of confidence, and it's great to watch.
Yeah. And it often quite shocks you that you actually know what you know. I don't mind being on my own, because then when I go rogue, I'm not affecting anybody else, because I'm pretty good at going rogue. So new people, I always let them know that I'll teach them, but maybe not correctly. So
disclaimer,
they might want to do their own homework. But see, that's also another defense mechanism for me, because then I don't have to there's no expectation. No one thinks I'm going to be any good. So I get to just really pull it back.
Yeah. Totally.
And that actually reminded me, Emily, of one of my favorite moments for you at MaCappella, which was when we went to karaoke as a big group, and you got up on stage and sang with me, even though you were completely terrified.
Yeah, no.
And I was completely shit, but you were beautiful. And I thought it was fabulous. And, I was willing to get up there and look like a fool if it meant you were going to stand on stage and sing.
I love that. And I love that you did that with me, because there was no way in hell I was getting up and doing that by myself. So, and I've actually got a bit of a trauma block out of that. When you brought that up a couple of weeks ago, I actually can't even remember what we said. I remember that we did it, but I couldn't remember what we sang until you said it. I was like, yeah, we did sing that.
I'm not even actually sure that I remember what we sang.
No, I'm pretty sure you're right. But it's a beautiful way for us women to support each other, and that real sisterhood that comes with that.
Yeah. Special, and it's needed, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. Well, I want to hear, before we wrap up, about the dance exercise group.
Right. So, yes, this was Marion's idea as well. So Marion, who came up with the pub sing, not came up with it, she had seen that another group do it in Queensland. Anyway, this dance idea, she thought, how good would it be to just translate pub sing to a dance instead of singing? So you're dancing. And I danced all through primary and high school. So I did jazz and tap. Have always loved dancing, and not that she knew that, but she sort of mentioned the concept to me. I was like, that's in my skill set. I could do that. So I make up a dance, and then it's just taught on the night. And it's really aerobicsy, it's not a dance. I don't know, I guess it's not that challenging, which is great, because you just want to, it's there so you move, and the whole concept is you're distracted while you're learning it. So you're exercising, but you don't really feel like you're exercising, It's like you're moving and you're enjoying it, and your brain's active because you're learning. And then by the end, you've done a dance and you're like, oh, awesome. So good sweat fest, as well as just being, really good for you.
Yeah. These things are very good for our brain, aren't they? Like having to learn steps and remember things and
Yep. I credit dancing for my musical ability as well, definitely, because I think, yeah, it was so good for the brain to learn a routine to blocks of 8, it's all about timing, all about this step here, this step then. I think I'd certainly credit that for helping my music ability, my natural music ability. Yeah. Pretty cool.
I feel like we need to petition for this to expand to other locations and times too.
I have thought about that.
Mm.
Sure. Anyway, yeah, it is
Well,
fun.
sign us up.
I'll get you a bus from
Yeah,
your town to this town.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. We have thought about running a big sort of session of dancercise in a pub too. So that might be coming. We'll see.
That also sounds fun.
Yeah.
Drinks in hand while
Exercise.
doing a dance routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be messy.
Wine and pizza at the end. I can get behind that.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thanks so much, Steph. It's been a really beautiful conversation today. And I want to say that the thing that I'm really thinking about is the translation of these little group sings, like the one you're doing at CNB, into the bigger world. Perhaps this is the universe moment of being able to put it out there and see what comes. So perhaps if people would like to connect with you to chat about doing something in the future, are they best to come through us and we can guide them to you? I think is that probably the easiest way?
Yeah, if you've got show notes, you could pop an email address in there, maybe.
Yeah.
That an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
That they could click on and connect to if they. Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Awesome.
more than happy to pass on any inquiries too.
Great.
If you want to, if anyone wants to email us at beyondtheneurotype@gmail.com.
And meanwhile, they can go and check you out and see what you've got to offer at what? PubSing at.
Yep. PubSing's on Facebook, predominantly. So PubSing Castlemaine. The dance class is called Flash Dancercise Castlemaine.
Good name.
And MaCappella.com is the website for MaCappella as well, if anyone's interested in checking that out.
We'll pop some links in.
Beautiful.
Thanks so much, Steph.
Thank you for the chat. Lovely to talk to you too.
For more information on today's conversation and guest, head to the links provided in the description. Please like and subscribe to keep up to date with more content, and it helps us out with the algorithm too. Beyond the Neurotype is not a licensed medical or mental health service, and any information or advice given is general in nature. Please seek professional help if anything mentioned in today's episode